when a company gives you a 3% salary increase and they're like, congratulations. Congratulating me for what? Inflation is 9%, which means I'm actually taking a 6% cut in my base salary. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a video. As you can tell from today's title, I'm going to be talking about salary increases. For those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for a while, I haven't been able to post any videos because my camera broke. I was filming with the Canon EOS T7i and I just switched to the Sony Alpha 7 III series. I think that's what it's called. Either way, it's called the Alpha series. I actually started my YouTube channel with this camera all the way back in 2017. So it lasted its course, it did what it was supposed to do, and now we're moving on to better and bigger things, so I'm able to be more consistent on YouTube. If you're not following me on TikTok, you should be. I post every single day sharing different career tips and tricks. Now let's get into today's video. I made a TikTok where I was talking about salary negotiations. I'll put the link to the video in the description box. But essentially, I broke down the different structures for pay increases. I said anything from 1% to 4% isn't really a promotion or a raise, so to speak, but it's what we call a COLA or a COLA, however you want to pronounce it, which stands for cost of living adjustment. Companies do this to kind of offset inflation and ensure that the salary they initially offered their employees are still going the same distance. The next tier after that, I said, was 5% to 9%, which is what many companies consider a merit increase. If you were doing everything that you were supposed to be doing and the company has the budget for it, they may give you that 5% to 9% increase to really give you a pat on the back for the work that you did in the previous year. And then the next band is going to be anything from 10 to 20%. It can even go beyond that, 25, 30%. And that's when people generally get a promotion. Let's say someone was working as a manager and they're now going to become a senior manager. They may see that 10 to 25% increase in their pay because many people don't feel like their internal organizations give substantial raises or promotions. People often job hop and they'll find themselves going to another organization to get that 10 to 25% pay increase. That's all I said in the video. I didn't say anything of the nature that companies should be doing this. I did say that companies should not be surprised by people job hopping when you're giving a 1% to 2% salary increase. That's really not a salary increase, especially when inflation is at 9%. That feels like a demotion, if you ask me. This brings me to my second point. I read some comments on my TikTok as well as other people who repurposed the video on their pages. And some people were like, it's absolutely insane to assume that companies can afford to give every single person a 10 to 20% raise. Oh, small businesses can't afford that. First and foremost, I don't think small businesses should have to feel like they have to give everyone a 10 to 20% raise, especially if they're barely making ends meet themselves. Big corporations, they likely can afford it, but that being said, not everybody deserves a 10 to 25% pay increase. Some people who have decided to quietly quit, where they're either doing less than what was expected of them or just really coasting at the bare minimum, not exceeding any expectations of the organization, they shouldn't expect to receive a 10 to 25% raise. That makes sense. A merit increase, yes. And the cost of living adjustment, I think everybody should get that. And to say that companies can't afford to pay people the cost of a living adjustment, that's fine. Hey, don't pay. Don't be surprised when people choose to leave your organization and go work somewhere else. Back in the day, I feel like our parents had a lot more reason to be loyal to organizations because they had pensions. People say, well, we get 401ks now, but 401ks are very different than what pensions used to be. If our parents worked for an organization for however amount of time was required, the day they quit or retired, they were going to get a check for the rest of their life until they left this earth. And if they left this earth sooner, the spouse of that parent was going to get that parent's pension all the days of their life until they passed away. That makes sense. But 401ks, sometimes companies will be like, yeah, we offer 401ks where you get to contribute your salary into your 401k and invest it to work towards your retirement. Some companies offer 401k match, which is like 2%, 3%, 4%, but you only get that match for as long as you work for that organization. It's not the same thing. I just feel like a pension and a 401k are totally different. So I completely understand people who feel like, wow, my company gave me a 2% salary increase, even though we have 9% inflation. I need to go find a job opportunity that's gonna give me 10, 20, 30% more than the salary I'm receiving to A, balance out inflation, and B, allow me more residual income to invest to save for retirement. It just is what it is. That's just how the cookie crumbles. At the end of the day, I think companies that do offer the cost of living adjustment to match inflation, that is a really great testament that you care about your employees. Companies that offer merit increases, I think that's great as well. And companies that actually do recognize people for the work that they're doing in the organization, offering that 10, 20, 30% increase, you're gonna see less turnover. I previously worked for an organization that was actually pretty good about promotions. The only thing I didn't like about that company was they should have been paying me more from the start because I was doing a lot more from the start. So the only reason why I was getting promotions, I think the first one was maybe like 6% merit, and then another one was like 10%, and then another one I think I got like a 12% increase in my pay. But the only reason why that happened was because HR noticed that I was doing a lot of work at like 2-3 times higher than the title I was actually having. And HR called me and said, we keep giving you raises and promotions because I keep telling senior leadership they cannot continue to give you this amount of work and not compensate you for that work. So I appreciate that HR person for advocating for me. And that's what companies should be doing. If you're recognizing that you're consistently requiring more and more of your employees, you need to compensate them more for the work that they're doing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really just wanted to elaborate more on the different types of salary increases. If you're not following me on TikTok, you should, because this is where this video came from in the first place. But I also want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Have you received a 1, 2, 3, 4% promotion? How did that make you feel? I always feel like it's outlandish when a company gives you a 3% salary increase and they're like, congratulations. Congratulating me for what? Inflation is 9%, which means I'm actually taking a 6% cut in my base salary. Also, take into the context that a lot of companies are reporting like record profits. So that whole notion that like companies just can't afford to give people a 9% raise to match inflation, I just don't think so. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.